Hello everyone, it's Natalie Jackson from Totally Runnable here, and I am going to walk you through today our Gender Sport Gap Schools quiz. So, have you ever wondered whether your school has a gender sport gap? You can take this super quick 60-second test. It's just 20 questions from our Gender Sport Gap experts to find out whether your school has a gender sport gap, find out your strengths, your areas of weakness, and your areas that you can have opportunities to improve on. So, I'm going to show you how it works. We have gone to our web address here, gendersportgap.scoreapp.com. And we have landed on this landing page. So there's some information about how it works. We're going to answer 20 simple questions. We are going to answer questions on a number of areas. So confidence, participation, performance, as well as a knowledge area and an analysis of the knowledge we've got. And if we want to know our score, we're going to click here and take the test. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my details, my email address. I'm going to put my school, Totally Runnable Primary School, and I'm going to click start. And away we go. So we've got 20 questions here. I'm going to answer them fairly quickly. So I'm not going to worry too much about the content. It might take you slightly longer to think about it, but I'm going to do them super quickly and just say yes, yes, yes to everything, just to give you an idea of the questions we're answering. Do boys attend more sporty after-school clubs than girls? If you asked all pupils to run for 15 minutes, would girls run further? Would boys run further? What do you think? Is it about gender stereotype sports? What do we think about confidence? All the areas that we tend to see a gender sport gap appear within schools. And all the initial questions when schools say to me, I don't know if there is a gender sport gap in my school, all the questions that I would ask them. So this shortcuts that process and you can just do the assessment yourself whenever you like. So here are my gender sport gap results. So I've got my overall score. Congratulations, lovely. My overall score was 48%. So within this gender sport gap quiz, your score is a measurement of your gap. So a 0% would indicate no gender sport gap at all, and a 100% score would indicate a really big gap in all the areas that we are looking at. So you can see here how my answers, obviously I just picked random answers, but how my answers would perform in terms of any of the categories that we're looking at. So whether it's analysis or knowledge, confidence, participation, or performance. And you can see here we've got a key showing us a small gap is in green, a medium gap will be in an orange, and a large gap would be in red. Then what the results page is giving us is where we scored best. So here from the answers that I've given, things are looking strong in my levels of knowledge. So it gives me a bit of information about what the test was measuring there. And it's telling me that I've performed well there. I've got the smallest gender sport gap there. We've got a link here to our free Girls in Sport pledge. If it's not something that your school is already a part of, but you are thinking about this gender sport gap, if you are or you want to be doing more for girls in sport, then the Girls in Sport pledge is absolutely what you should be thinking about joining. There's nothing, it's completely free. There's no obligation to do anything in particular other than be thinking about this stuff. It's a mission that we're on to raise awareness about the gender sport gap, particularly in primary schools. So you can join for free just at that link there. And it's also going to tell me where I scored worst. So where was my biggest gender sport gap? So it's giving me some advice here. Working on decreasing gaps in performance would be a great idea for me. In other elements of the results page, we've got, do we need any support? So there's a video here. We can watch a video that features myself and one of my other directors, Jenny Meadows, 800-meter runner and now retired, Olympian. She's a wild bronze medalist. We have a third director, Emily Freeman, who's another Olympian, former UK #1, 200-meter runner. So those of you who know me will know I am not any form of elite athlete. I'm probably the opposite, but that is a story for another day. But at the bottom of this results page, this button here, you can see that you can book a free Teams call. So we are offering a free 15-minute Teams call to have a look at the detail of how you scored within your gender sport gap quiz and how you could look to improve that gender sport gap score, so the particular areas that you might want to work on. So we're offering a free, no obligation whatsoever, just a free advice call via Teams for any schools who've taken this quiz on how you might look to improve that gender sport gap score. So that's it from me today. That is a whistle-stop tour of our Gender Sport Gap Schools quiz. What are you waiting for? Go and take the test, take the quiz, see what score you end up with. And if we can help, you know where we are.